cha-cha, no, it's so interesting, actually.
We're 3 minutes late for a time management.
No, that's hilarious, because I was actually doing a video on, like, when I first started doing, like, when I first worked with a mentor in energetics. One of the things that I really loved and wanted from the mentor that I was working with is that they lived in such a flow, and that it seemed that they only worked like a couple hours a day. Like, it was just very, the way that they moved in, like, was in their being. And I literally just did a video about that. That's why we're a little late. So
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. And I think, like, ultimately, because, like, we're so close, right? You're so close in the work that a lot of times you don't even see how close you can be. And so, like, we've worked with hundreds of coaches, and we've done it in such a way that, we live next to a state park. We want to go to a park. We go for a walk. We, live in this beautiful, we've created this life that really has this freedom and this ease and this flow. And the only way, like, looking back on how we've been able to do that, it's really been becoming this time management ninja, but more importantly, like, prioritizing, knowing how to stay in momentum, and keeping with the momentum, and allowing those flow and ideas and, like, acceptance of what's so.
Yeah.
So we didn't really script this. That was, like, literally just something that was in my space before. He's like, "Hey, you come in."
Yeah. So no, I have some ideas here. So
awesome. I
we have
trust
ideas.
you.
We got it. No. This is the thing. We have some hacks. I remember this one time. I was watching this video on. It was like Instagram or Reels or something. Anyways, one of those short little videos. And this lady was talking about how she cleans her kitchen in 20 minutes. And she's like, I don't clean all the time. I just let it pile up and it gets a freaking complete mess. And then I set a timer for 20 minutes. And then boom, I just go. And boom, and in 20 minutes, she, like, did a time-lapse thing. And I started doing that. And literally I
actually switched it up and call it resetting instead of cleaning, because it's going to get messy again. But if you just reset, then, like, it's almost expected. Anyways, that for me was a nice little shift of.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Anyways.
But now if you could take those over to your business, that's just one aspect of it. We're going to go into a few things. So I'm going to share my screen. I want to show our model, like, overall model. Also, we have a training coming up. It's the Content to Clients Bootcamp, and it's all about creating amazing content that actually turns clients. If you want to come to this training, comment below Bootcamp, and we'll get you the link to the to register. So, and it's going to be freaking, yeah, it's multiple days. So this is ultimately what we're going to do. The reason that we're doing this, it's a little sneaky, is we want to help you become a time management ninja, so then you can carve out the time to come to the boot camp. See that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to, I'm going to go on Zoom, and then I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you can see my screen. Can you guys comment when I'm sharing here to let me know?
Did you make my iPad?
Oh yeah, we could do that too. Let me try this.
Why don't I go get the iPad and
just
you do
in
this?
A backup.
Yeah, I got you.
So comment below and let us know that you can see the screen share that's happening. Let's see here. I want the entire screen. Boom. And it's going to be really helpful if you could comment right now and let me know that you can see. Can you see the Zoom screen right now? And can you see me switching over to the whiteboard? I know there's probably going to be a little bit of delay. This is going to be really necessary for somebody to comment and let me know that you can see this. That would be super duper. There's people on here. So if you're just sitting around, can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, good. All right, so you can see the circle on the screen. I can see it. I can see it. All right, perfect. All right, now, yes. Okay, good. So I'm going to clear this and make it bigger, and I'm going to make it.
You got it?
Yes, I got it. At least they're telling me I have it. They could be
That's
making
all that
stuff up.
matters. Okay, perfect.
You guys wouldn't make something up, would you? All right, so we are, or maybe they're responding something else. Who knows?
No, it's perfect.
Sometimes
Melanie
it's
says she can see it, so I'm
okay,
Melanie.
good, Melanie. Thank you. All right, so we're going to. What does every coach want in their business? Is abundance. Everybody out for abundance here. Next is freedom, which is definitely part of what we do here. And with what we're doing here specifically with the time, because if you can become a time management ninja, then you can get everything you need done in reduce like half the time. Like we've had people, we had a client, she was completely maxed on clients. She was so packed, and we gave her some strategies, and she actually went down from working like 90 hours a week to 30 hours a week, and like doubled her income in her business.
We actually have a thing that once you get to phase 2 of our program, it is
start taking vacations.
You just go on a trip. That's just what you do. Like it is.
Yes. So attract. So you need to learn to attract clients. So what is abundance to us? Is freedom, impact, and profit. And what creates freedom, impact, and profit is to be able to attract. What is attraction for us? Is creating impactful messaging, which includes niching and where are your clients. Then you have, everybody see my writing? Or can you read my writing? I know it's not writing, but I'm just making sure it's legible. I had somebody say that it was too small the other day, so. So next is part of attract is community, then it's content.
And we're just flying through this.
Yeah.
We're going to go more in depth on the boot camp and break these down and even the energetics down behind that. I got some fun things up my sleeve to make this different and unique, because I don't know if you've ever been to one of our events, we like to do things a little bit different. And every event I find something unique that we can add to it. So in order to, you can attract all of the people in the world, you can have the great messaging, you can have this great community, you can have the right content. However, if you're not enrolling them and have an enrollment process in there, then it's not going to really matter. So in order to have the enrollment process, that takes having a signature program, creating an offer that converts, having what we call an empower attraction pathway. This is the pathway, right? Having people come from not knowing who you are all the way up to becoming clients in a way that is consistent, and it's like you're building your machine.
It feels good too. It doesn't feel pushy or salesy.
It's empowered on both sides. And also group success. We're creating this program. Let's make sure that you deliver on it, and you deliver on it well, right? Now, aside from the enrollment and the attraction, in order to really have this abundance, this freedom, this impact, this profit, we're really creating this holistic abundance. It's a transformation in yourself as well. And what that looks like is really having your 1, 2, 3s down. What are the things that you got to do that you get to do every day? That's the income producing things, the things that are going to build you momentum, becoming that time ninja like we're talking about, right? It's also going to take being in alignment to who you are and discovering the blind spots, the things that hold us back, right? We all have them. There's nothing wrong. It's a consistent life transformation work, right? We're in the work. We're coaches. We get to always be in that work. And then it's also creating leverage. How can you create leverage for yourself so you can create that freedom, create that profit, create that impact, and where it works and you're able to scale and make that even larger impact. So
So we're going to focus on this call on the time.
Look at you. That's so cool. We're
on the time ninja aspect.
I've never seen you do that.
I was the first.
I love it.
There you go. And we're going to talk a little bit about 1, 2, 3s. Is everybody cool with that? Become a time ninja?
Sweet.
Let's go. All right, let's clear this. All right, so one thing, like I said, is we're going to call, so actually, I'm going to talk about a couple things here. So one of the things that we do is doing a time study. Give a shout
out to Alex Shortfin and the Simple Operations team. They turned us on to a time study, and I gotta say, this literally turned me into like, I tapped into my inner Monica, and like I had this thing color coded, and like I got really clear what I was spending our time on that wasn't. I got clear on what was really important with my time and where I needed help.
Yeah, and this is something we do in our phase 2 program with our clients, is doing a time study. Now, a time study, basically you're keeping track of every 15 minutes during the day. You're like, oh, that sounds terrible, but it's actually very liberating, because
and I'll say no one is like, no one's watching you. Nobody's like, you're not turning this into anybody. Like
this is
for
you. And what you do with it, just on the high, like there's two things. One is you see how much time you're wasting doing stuff that's not productive. Two, it's seeing what is actually making a difference in your business. And three, you can actually hand off the things that aren't your highest level of things. So what I say is like, what are some of the tasks? Like going through your email and deleting emails that are filling up your junk folder is not a highest use of your time. Going through and deleting your Gmail so you don't fill up on all of the space, or like organizing your G Drive or whatever. These are not good uses of your time. These are why we have virtual assistants. This is why we have operators and admin type of stuff, so they can take over those actions.
And then as you start, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
No, as you start creating your program and getting more clients in, and then it's creating, it's always finding how can you expand. One of the biggest lessons that I got working with Alex Sharfin and the Simple Operations team was to, as you grow as a coach, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you want to start expanding your space, right? And the more you can expand your space, it allows your business to also have the room to expand, right? So over this past year, I feel like we've really gotten clear on like, how do we expand our space? One is by doing a time study to get clear on the what so, right? That's where you start with any sort of transformation, and you're out for any type of mastery. If you're here to be a time management ninja, we have to start with the what so.
That's good. And then you start scheduling your sprints. So instead of working all day, who's ever, woken up at their desk and they're like, holy crap, like I didn't get anything done today that I wanted to get done, or you don't know what you're doing. That's why the 1, 2, 3s come in handy, right? And we'll talk about 1, 2, 3s here in a minute. But if you have scheduled times that you're doing specific tasks, then you can be more efficient with your time. You ever notice that when you're leaving for a vacation, that you become like this productivity master, and you get so much crap done, right? Like anybody
I gotta
do
this,
that?
this, and this, and then I gotta like Superwoman.
It's because you have a time constraint. There's a constraint on the amount of time that you have to do something. You have to get all this stuff done, so you become super, super, super effective. Now, if you create sprints, what we call sprints, it creates a constraint on your time and allows you to get more done faster. So,
any parents in here?
Oh yeah, the homework or the project before like it's due or something like that.
Well, yeah, and sprints. I know for me anyway. I'm a parent. We have Charlie at home with us all the time, so having these sprints scheduled is like literally how I get stuff done. Yeah. It's because like me and you, we can work together of like, hey, I'm gonna go take an hour sprint, and then that's your cue. Like
I can be at the
okay,
baby.
Got you. Right, and then vice versa. Hey, I'm gonna go do an hour sprint, and then vice versa. So like we get to support each other because we do these sprints. It's super valuable if if you have a child at home too. I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, and the thing is if you don't know the daily tasks that are going to get you specific results, none of this really makes sense to you yet.
Right.
And but scheduling sprints, so you put them in your calendar, like 2 a day, right? You just do 2 hours a day could totally be enough on scheduling like activity sprints. And I like to actually break it down depending on your level of enjoying the task, right? It's like if you love it, you could just put a an hour sprint or 2 hour sprint or whatever, and you could just go for whatever. But if you like, there's less like some tasks. Everybody agrees that there's things
There's
that
some things that are
you
just
enjoy in your business, and then there's things that you and we. There are always going to be things that were less enjoyable in our business. We're not going to love every aspect of it. It's like there's like a false. Now we can learn to reframe things to enjoy it and like, hey, I have to do like taxes, or I got to do this organizational thing. Like, okay, well, I enjoy my freedom, so I need to do this, or I get to do this aspect. And that's actually the language you use around it. It's really important.
Words are powerful.
Yes. All right. So scheduling, using your calendar and actually scheduling the time. Like, who actually here uses your calendar and actually schedules things?
I'm gonna go a step beyond. You use your calendar, and when you schedule stuff for you, it skips over. That is, we're going to come into integrity with that today, because that could be some people as well, and nothing wrong, because I'm calling it out because it's something that we've totally done.
Well, that's the thing is it's scheduling your taking care of yourself, scheduling your go take a walk, scheduling your workouts, right? To work out, like, or at least having specific times that you're doing these things so they happen, and just being more what.
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
I was going to, but I wouldn't.
No, go for it.
Well, it's like scheduling, and then also you get to. There's always this dance of masculine, feminine. So I feel like scheduling is like get it done and scheduled and on the calendar, right? And we can schedule and all of the things, and if we don't have that feminine balance to it, I feel like it's not sustainable.
So how do you balance it?
So I literally, it's an honoring of self. When it comes to my 1, 2, 3s, though, the 1, 2, 3s get done. Period. End of story. That is my daily 1, 2, 3s. We got to work on the business and get things forward, right? So every day I have. Sometimes the times change. I like to keep it. I'm a little bit different than you, where you have the scheduled. I like to keep it around meal times. Like, it's just how my brain kind of structures the day, is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I just have like scheduled around meal times to have things done. And then if there's times that I'm just feeling that it's too forced, and a walk, like I'm like my inner self is like, yeah, but you really need to walk. I'll go take a walk, because if I sit there and force myself to do something, the energy isn't there. And then I'm telling myself no on something. And then when you tell yourself no too many times, then you stop trusting yourself and listening to your inner guidance. And that's like a no bueno too. So you got to give yourself grace through this as well, that when your inner guidance is coming, that you follow it. So there's a balance in a dance, and it's not ever going to be like, it has to be this way, or it's like, rawr, or because you can go on the other side of this too and be too feminine, where you're like, I'm gonna flow and do whatever I want, don't tell me what to do.
We're just masturbating and manifesting all day.
Dipping into your pleasures and just creating what you want. Awesome. And there's 1, 2, 3s, and there's work to be done. So you gotta bring it all together. And like I love having in that balance of like the masculine, feminine, or however you relate to that, of the doing and the being, having flow, but also schedule. It's dance, and that's part of the mastery.
Yep. So sprints, they'll change your life.
Yes.
Timers. So like we were kind of talking about the cleaning the kitchen, and you can put on timers. Like I can be ADD. Sometimes what I'm doing, I will literally like.
No.
Now that I do a lot of the work on the phone, So I'll be actually like walking around and I'll be like doing this stuff. But also, I used to remember I would do this. I would set a timer. I would take my phone and I would freaking throw it across the room. And I had like I needed it away from me because I would get distracted. So taking out distractions. Ooh, I got another one. So timers is super important, especially for things that you don't love to do. So if you put your timer on 20 minutes, like 15 minutes if you really don't like it. Like I can clean a kitchen for 15
Reward
minutes.
yourself.
Yeah, reward yourself. That's good too. Rewards. So
15 minutes and you're gonna get, I don't know, something.
Yeah, rewards. It's good. So the next thing is boundaries.
It's just a boundary. Don't take it personally. So that's a song that we sing in our house when we need to lay boundaries, and it's something that we're teaching Charlie. She's about to be 3. So
yes. So this is the thing. With your older like kids and adults and whatnot, we had a person on our podcast a few years ago, and what she said was amazing and it changed her life. Is literally having a hat, like the work hat.
I almost had my hat. I didn't have a chance to do my hair today, and I meant to grab a hat before this live.
There you go. So you can have a work hat, like, and you teach everybody in the house that when I have this hat on, that means I'm working. Or a door, like something on the door, like like the hotel or not hotel, like when you're in college, you put the sock on your door, but instead of that, it's like for like working. Oh, it could be open, closed, so sure. But yeah, so no, you just need to be able to send that message, and I think that becomes like you need to really believe in yourself and really being able to like have an enrolling conversation with your partner. Like if your partner doesn't respect your boundaries around your business, you get to have an enrolling conversation with them and really show that like, hey, I need to put this much time. Sometimes this is going to take some inner work and this like self-worth to really have these conversations, to like really lay down that this is important to me. This is necessary for me to keep going. And if your partner doesn't believe in you, that becomes like an enrollment conversation and like a believe in yourself. If you start believing in yourself and you can really have these, these conversations, which can be challenging. I know they are. And it's like, if you don't have them, then things aren't going to change. Right. Anything you have to add there?
I don't think anything needs added. That was amazing.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next thing is having your 1, 2, 3s. What are your 1, 2, 3s? Your 1, 2, 3s. I'm gonna go actually back to this. Your 1, 2, 3s are your activities every day. So it could be having conversations, could be creating content. We create this in alignment to you. Your 1, 2, 3s need to be aligned to you. So cold messaging is not going to be aligned for most people. And it's like, cold like messaging people on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, cold DMing is like probably not aligned to most people. So there is a sliver. There is a sliver. There are people that it works for, and it can be worked, but we can't. Five to them. we don't want to create your 1, 2, 3s, your standard operating procedures, the things you're going to be doing on a daily basis that are out of alignment. So we need to create what this looks like. And obviously you need to know what your messaging is and your niche is and where your clients are, because what platform you're going to be spending your activities on and creating your content on and having your community on and all this stuff is all going to like change. Your 1, 2, 3s are going to change depending on these things. And then obviously your program and your Empower Client Checks pathway, it's going to change of your alignment and what that looks like. So if you want to work on all of these things, or really this and this, then you're going to want to register for the Content to Client Bootcamp. If you are somebody that's like, hey, I'd love to come to boot camp, that's super cool, but not a time ninja yet, but I want the support, I need the guidance.
All of this looks amazing.
Yeah. All this seems great. I need it all, and I'm ready to get that support. Then comment support below, or if you're shy, feel free to shoot me a message. Awesome. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.
Bye for now.